Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. In today's video I'll be going through plenty of payware and freeware aircraft. We've got some awesome news from the iniSimulations team who many X-Plane 11 pilots will be familiar with, to some progress on the Hawk T1 by Just Flight, to work on the KC10 which is freeware by Aerodynamics. Plenty to talk about, so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, it really does help me out. Less than 20% of you watching are subscribed. Let's move that up, we can do it together. If you click sub, you get to stay up to date with the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator news, of course. But without further delay, let's get right into it. Okay, so by far the most exciting news in my opinion is that iniSimulations have announced that the A310-300 will be coming to the sim, and my goodness, do they share some awesome screenshots. Let's get one on the screen now. Here you can see Oman Air, the A310 of course, banking to the right, and doesn't it look fantastic? The external modelling is looking really good, and of course it's still not going to be released yet, we'll be waiting a few more months. So just bear in mind that everything is heavily work in progress, but hey, it still looks fantastic. Now the A310 is an aircraft most people don't see in the skies all too often. It's in limited service with some cargo carriers, I believe. I've seen one fly over before in my entire life, as far as I can remember, so they're not too common, but it's an Airbus, a slightly more vintage Airbus, so it's a bit more hands-on than the likes of the A320neo, and if you've tried it out on X-Plane 11, I'm sure you were very impressed. From the videos I've seen and watched about it, yes, it certainly looks very good. iniSimulations, iniBuilds, whatever you like to call them, always do a fantastic job. Most recently with their A300, which looked absolutely awesome, and their Beluga of course. Here you can see it in the TAP Portugal livery. Now bear in mind that this went out of service from TAP Portugal in 2008, so almost 13 years ago, or if not 13 years ago now. So it shows how old this aircraft is, but nonetheless it looks beautiful. Here's an awesome shot from Air Transat. I only believe this retired quite recently actually. I think they operated this for quite some time and has only been retired over the last few years. So to be honest, it's quite likely that some of you in the comments will have flown on the A310, so let me know if you have. Now moving over to an awesome screenshot from the cockpit and some information. This photo is clearly showing that it works in the simulator in terms of avionics and systems to a good standard. The great thing about the A310 is that the cockpit is a blend of old and new, my favourite type really. Not necessarily everything glass cockpit, you've still got some old gauges in there, and I kind of prefer it like that, I've got to be honest. It means you have to concentrate a bit more and not everything's done for you. Of course that's a gross exaggeration, but I'm sure many of you know what I mean. They also say at the bottom their secret project AIRLINER is also making excellent progress. They don't talk about whether that's for X-Plane 11, X-Plane 12 or Microsoft Flight Simulator, but they do say that if all goes to plan, they'll be showcasing her before the end of the year. No timelines or release dates for the A310 on Microsoft Flight Simulator, sadly, but we'll just have to keep an eye on it. It looks awesome, some great screenshots brought along, it's an aircraft I'm rather excited for. We'll be keeping a close eye on it, so be sure you subscribe to stay up to date with it. Now moving over to Just Flight with their Hawk Trainer 1 Advanced Trainer. Progress is coming along well, and I believe this aircraft should be released imminently. They're already providing videos, which is what I'm showing on the screen now, of the aircraft flying through the air. They also cover the EFB, payloads and hydraulics. Check out the Just Flight YouTube channel to see more, but my goodness does this look awesome. Now sadly, as many of you know, weapon systems are not modelled properly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You can't fire missiles or drop bombs. So while they do reenact payload systems, they're basically sitting ducks. All they do is sit there and you can remove them. It's not Just Flight's fault, it's just how it is. Microsoft don't allow it, and it's kind of understandable. Just Flight don't provide the highest quality models in terms of study level, but they do provide great value, affordable models. So keep an eye on this one. The external modelling does look great, I'm quite in awe of it to be fair. Nice reflection, and it'll be awesome to go around in the Mach loop in the Hawk, of course, most famously used by the Red Arrows. What do you guys think? I think the cockpit needs a bit more work before they release it, but so far, so good. Leave your thoughts down below in the description. We now move over to our news from aerodynamics, and I haven't talked about them for ages, but their work on their KC10, well, it's looking marvellous. The cockpit looking superb, highly textured, really in depth, and systems seem to be working, including our weather radar and primary flight display. The KC10 is of course a military refueler, most commonly used by the USAF, United States Air Force. And while it's in pre-alpha, it's looking good. It's looking like it's getting there. Screenshots are all available on their Discord, which is what I've left in the description. It looks even nicer from the outside, and you can see the lights are all in the correct places, shining up the correct parts of the aircraft, so it's clear that they've certainly progressed well with this. Be interesting to see if they can somehow squeeze in some sort of refueling system, or at least make it so you can make the boom extend down. I'd really like that, or the probe I should say. That would certainly be a bestseller, and although it's freeware, I think everyone should get this baby in the hangar when it comes out. It looks awesome, and they've been spending such a high amount of time on it. It's not like other Discord projects where they announce all these big and glorious things and then quit. I mean, it does happen, but they've been really sticking to it, so great job here guys, and I'm very happy to promote their Discord down in the description, so go check it out. The cockpit of course still needs a bit of work. Looking closer towards the switches, you can see some of them are lacking a bit of texture, and of course we don't get much of a clue about whether or not this works or not. But hey, it's looking the part, so hopefully it won't take long before it is the part. Some of these screenshots are over a month old, so be aware, things probably have changed then. It's just that I'm not that quick about getting Discord news out, because sometimes it's quite hard to find, but there we go. Anyway, from me today, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, I hope you've learned something, and I hope you're excited for one of these projects. If you did enjoy, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, it really does help me out. I'm trying to keep you all up to date with the most important Microsoft Flight Simulator news, new aircraft, new scenery and more. Freeware and payware. On top of that, I'm also doing my PPL, flying in a real plane of course, above the sky, working towards my private pilot's license. From me today, thank you so much for watching. I'm also running a charity fundraiser, raising money for 2 incredible charities. Any donation really does help them out. All my Amazon equipment links are in the description. I'd like to say a massive thank you to my first class channel members. Thank you to Captain Matt Russell, Jesse Wiseman, Ethan Bubeck, Simon Schmidt and Erwin K. You guys really do help me out. But from me today, I'll see you around. Be sure to check out my other videos. Bye bye. Hi there, nice to see you made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Thought I'd let you know about my Discord server, a great place to talk to like-minded individuals about all things aviation. The link is in the description. Come and join, come along. It's always great fun to talk to you guys, and it's much appreciated to see so many of you in there.